Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I am Charlotte Ember, the creator of Frequency Healing Community, and we are live. I am actually going to be interviewing Michele. She actually wasn't able to make it on live with us today, so we went ahead and pre-recorded our interview, but I'm going to be showing that today. But first, before I show that video, I just want to tell you how grateful I am that you're here on this page, that you have been learning about frequencies with us. I know that there's a lot going on our page, and sometimes it gets a little confusing to know where to start, or what practices you should be bringing into your life, or what frequency devices, or all of those different questions that I know so many people have. And I just want to let you know, we do have a sister community that we're wanting to bring people over to. It's a free community. We're bringing people over there for several different reasons. For one, it's a little more focused. It is something that's a little bit more intimate. We have practitioners over there that we're actually vetting and making sure that they are really doing what they say that they're doing. Also, we get a lot of scammers here on Facebook that we're really asking that you all help us in reporting those bots, or any activity that you see on the page that just seems suspicious to you. Please click those three little dots either next to the post or next to the comment and report to admin. If you just report it, it goes to Facebook, but if you click specifically report to admin, that comes directly to us, and then we can deal with it appropriately. So please do that. And also, another reason for bringing you over to that other group is we don't ever know if Facebook is going to stick around. So we don't own the page here on Facebook. We don't have any control over whatever happens to Facebook. And they've got so many different regulations that we've got to be careful with our verbiage, as far as different ailments and things that are tied to holistic practices and healing. I wish it was not that way, but at the moment, that is the way that it is. And we don't want this page being taken down, because we truly love what's going on. We love all of you being a part of this. We love the community that is being birthed through this. It really has been just a labor of love for my husband and I to do this group. And it's just been really exciting to see how it's been exploding. And it really is beautiful to see how many people are interested in frequency healing and stepping into that and learning about it for the first time, as well as drawing in all these incredible healers and practitioners and people who have been doing this work for a long time. So there's so much that we can learn. Please know that we are learning. We are all growing. Please be gracious and tolerant of others in the level that they are at in their learning process. Sometimes we see some rude comments that come through, and we're trying to take care of those. Just know that it is our heart that everyone has a place to come and learn and grow, no matter what level they are at. Nobody has to be a master at this. We can all learn from each other. Let's just be gracious with one another. Let's have peaceful and respectful conversations so that we can truly be a place of healing and growth and love, and really be what we say that these frequencies are actually helping us to do. It really is more about cultivating those frequencies of love and peace and truth within us. So I just encourage you all, be patient with one another, be patient with yourself in the learning process and growing process. There's no perfect way to do any of this. And the most important thing is that you are tuning in to the truth that is within you and dropping down into that sacred place within your soul. And you are allowing the answers to come from within. Yes, there is lots of help here. There's lots of help over in our sister community. The link is in our header. You can find it there, frequencyfamilymarket.com. Come over there. That is the marketplace where people are listing products and services, but we also have the community that you can reach through that page. You just click on community group, and then sign up. It's a free community for members. So just come over there, and if even if it's just that you want to make sure that you get to stay in contact with us if something happens to happen to Facebook, who knows? It's just a safer place where we can talk in more depth about what's going on with you. There's lots of tools, lots of education. We're always adding to it. And it's a growing community that we actually just opened November 1st. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring on the interview that I did with Michele just a few days ago, since she wasn't able to be here live with us today. But I think you're going to enjoy it. So just grab a cup of coffee or tea or a tuning fork and enjoy this video. Let me just grab it for us. From Word with Yourself. And I am so excited to have a conversation with her. She is doing some pretty awesome things as far as frequency and combining music, binaural beats, and all kinds of things. And I have not even delved in yet totally, because I wanted it to be very fresh for our audience here. So I hope you can tune in. Please share this out. We would love for more people to be able to come on and see what Michele is doing. She is one of our practitioners in our marketplace. So we're going to share the link here that you can head over there and you can check out everything that she's got going on over there as well. So I'm excited to dive into this conversation with Michele. Michele, please tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get into doing the work that you're doing?
Hi there. Okay, well, it all started for me pretty much when I started to meditate. I began listening to different sorts of music, and I started to experiment with binaural beats, and I was having a really strong effect from listening to them. And this got me interested in wanting to know how to actually create binaural beats myself and learn about the neural effects that it has on the brain. Music's always been a really big part of my life. It's been a real lifelong companion. Since childhood, I learned to play the piano and then other instruments and singing along the way. And it's always been something that I've had a very strong connection to. It's always been a very important part of my life that I've always found my way back to. And that's how my career unfolded, first as a musician, and then studying to compose music and learning music production. And then after teaching instrumentally for around 20 years, I, like I say, I started going down this different route with the binaural beats and the healing frequencies to explore a totally different side of music and how it can actually have a very beneficial impact on your overall well-being.
Wow. Was there something in particular that happened in your life that caused you to have a shift from just doing music to healing frequencies?
Yeah, it was at the time in my life when I was starting to meditate. I was going through quite a traumatic emotional situation, and I was looking for a way to be able to regulate my emotions and calm my nervous system. And it really helped me. I knew that music would always have that impact on me anyway, yeah. But that's how it kind of expanded into the binaural beats, was that I wanted to understand the scientific kind of approach as to what's happening neurologically when I'm listening to the binaural beats. And that sparked a lot of interest in learning about then the certain frequencies of the body, learning about the energetic centers and how it all relates and has specific frequencies connected to those energetic centers. And from doing my own experimentation over a couple of years, I was combining different frequencies and different binaural beats together. I could see a pattern developing of how it all fitted together and how it was impacting the body, the mind, and everything really.
Wow. Yeah. I think that is the case with so many people. It's like we get introduced, we try it out. We're like, oh my gosh, it is so undeniably healing to our bodies to listen to these healing frequencies. And what I love that you do is you create the uncompressed
versions of these, because sometimes we can go on YouTube and YouTube compresses everything. I mean, everything that you get over there is going to be very compressed. So it's not really going to be the original healing tone. So how do you put these together, and how do you recommend that people listen to them?
I mean, I think a lot of the stuff that you get on streaming platforms, it does have a beneficial quality to it. It's just that the high end and the low end is chopped off. That's what happens in compression and when things have to get, you know, made into much smaller files to be uploaded. I don't think it destroys the overall benefits of it, but I think it limits the amount of potential benefits that you get from it. So when I create personalized tracks for clients, I make sure that they receive the unprocessed, unfiltered version. It's a big file that has to be downloaded, but this carries all the vibrational data, even the frequencies that you can't hear, the highest ends and the lowest ends that, you know, your natural hearing is unable to process. It's still a vibrational data that is transferred to the body, and I think that's really important.
Yeah, I really do believe it's important too. I can't remember where I heard this, what the source is, but I have heard specifically the 11th harmonic is really powerful. So when we sing a tone, even in our natural voices, for those that are not familiar with sound, like she's saying, there are harmonics to each tone that are naturally occurring. And it's my theory, and I do think it's also been scientifically shown through some experiments. I just don't have those sources on hand right now, that those harmonics are actually what help to embed it deeper into your system and bring the real power behind it. So I love that. I love that these are available to us. And I agree, like I've gotten so much benefit even just listening to YouTube. So I just want to tell people too, don't be afraid that you're going to be damaged by listening to YouTube frequencies. It's still beneficial. And I turn those on in my house all the time, just, you know, whenever I'm playing or on the computer or doing whatever I'm doing. But it's really wonderful to have these specific ones, uncompressed, available for you. So can you tell us a little bit, just for someone who maybe does not know a broader definition of what binaural beats is? Like, how does the binaural beats come into play with what you're doing?
Okay, well, binaural beats are two frequencies, in actual fact. They're panned into the ears at a different frequency. So you might have one at 100 hertz and in the other ear 104 hertz. That makes it a 4 hertz binaural beat. Your ears can't process the different, but they hear the third tone, and that binaural beat, the 4 hertz, is what entrains the brain, and it communicates across both the left and right hemisphere, which has hugely beneficial impacts on your overall feeling and the state that you're in. It helps to easily put you into different brain states, so you can quite easily go into a deeper meditative state if you're using binaural beats to meditate to, or even just for relaxation, for focusing your thoughts. For many things, they're really useful, and it's a very passive way of using frequency to change your brain state for a beneficial reason.
And as far as I know, the best way to listen to that is definitely with headphones, because then you get the back and forth in the headphones. Is that correct?
Exactly. Yeah. You can still listen to binaural beat music through your laptop or your phone, but you're not going to get the brain entrainment, the actual difference of the panning, unless that you've got the two earphones on to feed into each ear the different frequencies.
Right. And then I also saw that you do sub-audible tracks, or what do you call those? Did I say it right?
Subaudible statements.
Okay, so, subaudible statements. Yeah.
Yeah, these are like affirmations, and they're to positively impact your thoughts and your feelings about yourself. So they're actually pitched outside of your natural hearing range. You don't hear them, but they've been recorded in and then taken down so that you can't be heard. And the reason for doing this is so that it bypasses the conscious hearing level and it goes directly to the subconscious, which is a very powerful area to be in for relearning and for having changes made, allowing changes to occur comes from the subconscious.
Wow. So do you speak those?
I do. I record them. Mm-hmm.
And then do you have lists of those affirmations that you include in your
it's not a generic thing. It's the consultation with each client. I create the subaudible affirmations, and they agree that they want those in there. Obviously, because it's going to be heard, it has to be agreed. And they're written specifically for that person's needs to bring out whatever it is that they need to subconsciously, feel or change about their thoughts, about their emotions.
All right. So I'm going to go here. So this is the personalized binaural beats. I see. So you literally make them personalized for the person.
Mm-hmm.
So how would you describe one of your sessions? Like if someone did one of these sessions with the binaural beats, how would that work?
Well, the consultation is to find out what it is that person is wanting to change, whether they have issues with their self-esteem, their self-confidence. It's talking to them about, where that's come from, the root cause of why they feel these things, how they would like to feel, and separating, the emotions and the feelings from the identities that they've given themselves. And then I write the statements that positively reinforce how they want to feel. So it's always written in the kind of achieved present tense of I am, so that the conscious already accepts that when it's played in and listened to.
I love this offering. I think it is so wonderful. I love personalized things because everyone is so different, and we can, listen to all kinds of frequencies and get benefit. But whenever you then have the added bonus of actually getting to speak to the practitioner and them feel what you're really needing and then personalize that, that is really beautiful. I absolutely love that. As well as the binaural beats. And, it just makes me so happy. So you have the binaural beats. Let me just go back here. And you also have, let me see if I can. You also just have the pure and raw frequencies.
I do, yes.
And if you go here, this is, for everyone who doesn't know, this is at frequencyfamilymarket.com. And she describes here all the different frequencies that she creates. And you can literally just order one of these. Let's see, is it the $5 for one individual frequency? Is that how it works?
I think so. I think that's how I've listed it.
Yeah.
There's also combinations on there. So if you didn't just want the individual frequency, you can have it as a combined. I think I've got the 7 solfeggio frequencies for the 7 chakra balancing and restoring on there as a combined track.
Yeah. Okay. Wonderful. And this seems like it might be a good pair with also the personalized session because, are you able to maybe identify what frequencies might be best for someone based on what they are like what their issues are at the moment and suggest those? Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's great.
Through the consultation, I get to understand better what it is that the person is aiming to achieve and wanting to change and improve. And from there, it's clear to me which of the frequencies are going to best help and affect the body, affect the mind, and bring about the changes.
And you do work with tuning forks as well.
I do.
And that's more of an in-person session, I suppose, or do you do that online as well?
No, only in person, and that's for specific body points. Area. It can be used for so many things, but it's been really useful for things like muscular pain, nerve issues, any kinds of spasms or tightness, anything like that, there's a really good use of tuning forks directly. It's using a weighted, medically tuned and weighted 128 hertz. It's a very healing frequency directly into the points, and because it's they have conductive tips which are with a quartz on the end.
Oh yeah.
You can really feel the vibration of it. In the air, you don't get much sound at all, but as soon as it hits the conductive element of your bone, you get a really strong sensation in areas.
Yeah, so if anyone is in Spain, you're in Valencia.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and a cool thing about the marketplace here is, let me turn it back on. There is a search feature here for location. So you can always go on there and search a location and find people, people that maybe have online as well as in person are able to list their products over here and their services. And then you can find them if you're wanting to do an in-person session, then that's a good place to find someone as well. And we're just getting started. So I just want to let everybody know we are just starting to fill up our marketplace. We've only been live for a little over a month over there. Michelle was one of our first people. And when she came, I knew I really wanted to talk with her and highlight what she was doing because this is so needed. It is so needed to have practitioners also who are able to meet with you and really find out exactly what it is that you're needing. So hopefully she can bring some great support and healing to whoever books in with her. All right. So do you have any kind of anything else that you want to add to anything else that you're offering or?
I think it's just great to see so many people starting to open their minds to sound and frequency therapies. I think it's something that has been so overlooked for so long now, and there's a great potential. I think it's wonderful what you're doing, bringing people together in this, frequency family. It's really great because it's going to help educate people, and I think that's really what is needed now, is to educate about how easy it is to, start using sound to bring about all kinds of, benefits to your well-being, and to see it really open and broaden in the years to come.
Yeah, me too. I think one thing about frequencies that I have noticed is because we get so many questions about what frequency for this ailment or this ailment. And I think what I just want to convey to people is that even just your inquiry and moving in that and looking into it deeper is actually expanding your personal, spiritual, expansive self. And it's just even just the inquiry and the pursuit of it. So it's almost it's a frequency of a positioning of who we are that actually helps us to have those changes in our body. So I just encourage everyone to don't feel stressed about it if you don't know all the answers. Move yourself into a state of ease and flow, and know that you are supported and know that you are being guided. And that's the frequency that you want to be walking in. And that is the most powerful position that you can be in your state of mind. But these are very wonderful. When you can be in that state of mind and then tap into something like this, it's just the perfect situation.
I get the feeling that people are looking for like a shortcut into, having full healing or whatever. And I think they're missing the element that it's an entry point. It's a part of your journey, but it's not the whole thing. And I think because there's a lot of things said around raising your frequency, people are missing the point of what that means. They're not seeing that as internal work and using frequencies as a part of it. They're thinking that they can hit a frequency, listen to it and be like, they've got there. And I think for people to get a clearer idea of, it's an element of your journey to, back to yourself, back to enlightenment, whatever, it is that they're on. But it's not just finding this one frequency that's going to save them. I think a lot of people are looking for that. And I always try and say to people, when they come to me, I've not got any magic going on here. These frequencies, yes, they're special, and yes, they have a correlation to parts of the body and the energy centers, but the healing is from within you as a person, and it's that activation of that. But that has to come about from everything. It's your thoughts, it's your actions, how you're feeling about yourself, feeling about the world, as a general. It's not just listening to a frequency and being,
right. And that's going to solve all your problems by turning.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I feel as well. It is that you said it perfectly. It's an entry point, and it'll start that process. But then I have a person that I go see here. He does what's called neuro-emotional technique. It's called NET. And I've gone to him for years and years. And he said one time, sometimes people will come in here, and it's an energetic service that he does, but he's dealing with some meridian points and doing these clearings. And he said people will come in and they will do the same clearing, like their clearing will end up being the same, because they don't take it then home and do the work that it takes, which is cultivating the frequency that you want within yourself, which comes through forgiveness, comes through, like I was saying, like positioning yourself to be able to keep growing and transform and allow that to transform you. I think so. It's like a fast food mentality of like, I just want something to fix me, but I don't want to do the work to help it sustain and actually transform me in the core of who I am.
That's it. That's the key point, I think, to it all, is that they get that bigger understanding, really, that there's so many different modalities of improving your health and your connection, but you've got to embody a bit of everything and take it with you and do the work. Because just listening to a frequency, yes, it might in that moment give you some relief, some benefit, but it's such a small part of everything else.
Well, when you think about the placebo effect, that shows so clearly that we have a huge part to play in it, in how we are looking at things and how we are observing what's going on within us. And so if we have an attitude of nothing ever works for me, I don't ever get healed, or my father or my mother had this ailment, so now I have it. And we've got these real supported beliefs within us that are actually blocking the frequency from doing its work. So it's about doing the frequency technology as well as the inner frequency work.
Yes, definitely. That's exactly why I have the affirmations in there, because it fills the subconscious. A lot of people come to me and they've got very negative cyclic thoughts going on, and they want to break that cycle because the life has just got almost unbearable because of waking up every moment and having this constant congestion of negativity. And when I write them the statements that are going to be put into the track, they wince. They're like, but that's all not true. And I'm like, I know, but this is what we want to get to, and it has to start to work. If you go away from here just thinking, listening to the frequencies, that's enough, it's not. And I find that with them listening to these subaudibles, it slowly starts to take an effect, usually within about 3 weeks, that their feelings and their actual self-talk changes. But the most interesting thing for me is that they don't realize it's happened. When it's happened, because it's on a subconscious level, it feels like it was already there, and it already was. It was just that they were overriding it with all the negativity before. But I have to always go back to the initial consultation and show them what the things they'd written, so that they can see just how far they've come, because they don't often connect it, or they just think, oh no, I've always felt like this, and it's incredible. It's amazing how the mind is like this network of thoughts and feelings and memories, and it's really changeable, and when they're in that negative place, they can't imagine not being in it, but then when they're out of it, they're like, oh no, I think I was always really like this, I just had like a bad patch or whatever. It's really funny.
Wow, that is so amazing. It is so true. And we
we do get influenced so easily. I mean, you can see that through, how much the media affects us, how much everything that we observe and bring into our energy field and allow to be there. And that's part of the spiritual work for me is what are you going to allow? What are you going to allow to be in your being? You are the authority of yourself. You are the authority of your energy field. You are the authority of your mind, of your thoughts. And you've got to take that authority back, because we've given it away to so many different people in our lives, to people who have hurt us. We've given it away to situations that didn't work out for us the way we wanted it to work out. But we have the power to change that at any moment and shift the frequency at any moment. And we see that happening all the time.
Yeah, I mean, it really does bother me a lot, the way social media is it's pure brainwashing. And I'm really so careful with what I allow into my psyche, knowing how the subconscious works and how all your thoughts are feeding from your subconscious constantly. I'm really quick to shut myself down if I find myself, in scrolling loop or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so full of subliminal data and messaging and all sorts of stuff that's just bringing people down, and it's just this horrible feeling. I'm seeing it even with like huge famous singers, that have sold 10 albums, they're still affected by it. And you think, well, how can they be when they've had all that, public flame and everything else? But it just shows the power of social media and affecting people's subconscious is huge. And I think this is going to be the biggest battle, is getting people to be more discerning with what they're letting themselves, be affected by.
Exactly. And realize, go ahead.
Especially, the kids coming through, because they've not had much life or any life pre social media. They've been born into it in a way. And to be able to communicate to them how important it is now, that, they must be in control of it, not the other way around. That's something that really bothers me, having, 2 young boys that are always on YouTube. It's like,
oh, I know. It's been a huge challenge in these times to know how to handle that as a parent, because it is such a big part of our lives. I'm constantly doing, reflecting on my parenting and do we do this, and how much do we allow of this, and without wanting to be too controlling and allow them to find their way. It's just like all these, anyways, we can go down a rabbit hole on parenting, but it's a big deal for sure. And just a little side note with the Frequency Facebook group, I just in talking about all this is one of the reasons why we're very careful about what posts we allow to come onto the page, because what we are wanting to build here is a very high frequency group. And of course, things get through that we don't see or whatever, but it makes a big difference talking about social media and what we allow to come through. And I think as we go along, now that we're entering the age of Aquarius, and I feel there's been a shift that's taken place in a lot of people, and we're starting to see things that we weren't seeing before. And I think as we're going along on this journey, we're going to become a lot more sensitized to those frequencies and those energies. And I think that's why this group is growing so fast as well, because people are starting to realize, okay, there's something unseen that's affecting me, and I need to get in touch with what that is and start to work with that energy versus just be completely oblivious to it.
Yeah, but that's great. I mean, I do feel that as well, that there's a lot more open-mindedness, and people are starting to explore and educate themselves, and just, move towards things that previously would just be too, oh, not for me, thank you, kind of, stuff. And it's great, because it's all expanding consciousness, isn't it? It's expanding people's ability to perceive different realities or different versions of reality, and seeing things more for as they are rather than as they're being shown to us. I think that's the biggest thing,
exactly.
Is that we're starting to all look into the intentions and the motives behind the things that are being pumped out at us, so that we can make better decisions. And
100%.
Yes. All right. Well, we're going to end it up now. And thank you so much, Michele, for being with us. I really appreciate your contribution, your spirit, and all that you are doing. It's really beautiful. And I really do feel that that you can help a lot of people through what you were doing. So thank you so much for being here. Don't forget, everyone, to go to frequencyfamilymarket.com and check out everything that she's got going. We're going to link that here in this video. And thank you so much for